Good evening and welcome to this edition of Newsleader on 6. I'm Jim Fuller.
And I'm Amelia Marquez. In tonight's news, Motlow College's nursing program was recently granted continuing accreditation. Work is set to begin on a new highway bypass in Winchester. The Tennessee Bureau of Investigation has arrested a Fayetteville police officer. We'll speak with the executive director of the Tennessee Walking Horse National Celebration. Tullahoma's state champion Little League team was honored at the Tullahoma board meeting Monday night, and we'll tell you about a new mosquito repellent being developed by Vanderbilt University. We'll have these stories and more on tonight's Newsleader on 6.
Hey everybody, I'm John Harris.
My name is Cass Barnes.
We just wanted to make you all aware of the first annual Tullahoma Alumni Coffee Pot game. It's going to be at Coffee County Middle School on their varsity football field. It's going to be September 19th, 2015.
I'm playing quarterback and I'm one of the team captains.
Also a team captain, I'm playing left guard and defensive tackle. This is very important that we get community support and involvement with this program. It's going to be one of the biggest revenue generators for the Tullahoma Quarterback Club, and we're estimating anywhere from $5,000 to $10,000 of additional revenue that we can start bringing in to the Tullahoma Quarterback Club on a residual basis for each of these games that we do. So we look forward to your support and hope to see you there.
So come out and support your Tullahoma Wildcats.
It's new car discount season at Stan McNabb Chevy, and we have prices that'll beat anybody else. New vehicles up to $17,000 off. Check out this brand new 2015 Chevy Sonic, only $14,600. Chevy, Buick, GMC, Cadillac. Stan McNabb has all the new car brands you love in one location. And don't forget, we'll match or beat any dealer's price or give you a check for $500. And check us out online or schedule your service at stanmcnabb.com.
Welcome back. Motlow College's associate degree nursing program was recently granted continuing accreditation through the spring of 2023 by the Accreditation Commission for Education in Nursing, or ACEN. Motlow was formally notified with a letter following the July meeting of ACEN's Board of Commissioners. Program evaluators recommended accreditation upon reviewing the self-study report, the catalog report, and the site visitors report. Accreditation comes on the heels of the 2014 National Council licensure examination results, in which Motlow exceeded state and national pass rates. Motlow's 2014 nursing graduate pass rate was 97%. The average was 87% in the state, and the national average was 82%. 63 of Motlow's 65 graduates in 2014 passed the test.
After years of planning, work is set to begin in the highway bypass in Winchester that will link Federal Highway 64 with State Route 50. The 1.5-mile connector road will ease travel through Winchester to Fayetteville, Lynchburg, and Tims Ford State Park. Franklin County Mayor Richard Stewart says the $8.34 million project will improve highway safety and ease traffic congestion. The Chattanooga Times Free Press reports the project has been on the drawing board since 2007. A Jackson, Tennessee construction firm won the bid for the project, set to be complete by April 2017. Stewart says the connector road will also ease truck traffic around the Winchester Square and improve travel to the Nissan engine plant in Deckard.
Tourism pumped a record amount of revenue into the Tennessee economy last year. This, according to a report released by the Tourist Development Department this week. The travel industry generated $17.7 billion in revenues last year, up by more than 6% compared to the year before. International travel to Tennessee was up by more than 8%, bringing in $577 million dollars in sales tax revenue. Sales tax revenue from tourism was more than $1.5 billion overall, up by 7% over 2013. Nashville, Memphis, and Sevier County, the gateway to the Smoky Mountains, each enjoyed a tourism economic impact of more than $1 billion. Coffee County tourism had a total impact of $84.5 billion, saving $2.2 million in local taxes.
Special agents with the Tennessee Bureau of Investigation have arrested a Fayetteville police officer accused of theft. At the request of the 17th District Attorney General Robert Carter, special agents began investigating a 43-year-old Richard Steelman earlier this month. During the course of the investigation, agents discovered that Stillman, who is an officer with the Fayetteville Police Department, received a check on March 16th from Fayetteville City Hall in the amount of $546.56 for the in-service training. The investigation found that several months later, Stillman reported the check was missing. He has issued a replacement check for the same amount and cashed that check on July 30th. Agents also discovered that 6 days later, on August 4th, Stillman cashed the initial check that he had reported missing. TBI agents arrested Stillman, age 43, and charged him with 1 count of theft. He was booked into the Lincoln County Jail and released on his own recognizance. At the time of his news release, Stillman was on leave with pay.
We'll be right back in a moment with more Newsleader on 6.
Trucks, trucks, and more trucks. Russell Barnett Ford of Tullahoma and Winchester is your home for both new and pre-owned trucks. We have a huge selection of over 200 trucks to choose from. Check us out on the web at russellbarnett.com and view our great selection. We are your truck headquarters, and we want to be your one-stop shop. That's Russell Barnett Ford of Tullahoma and Winchester, your truck headquarters. Trucks, trucks, and more trucks. Why buy anywhere else?
Let the Smokehouse be your mountain getaway destination in beautiful Monteagle, Tennessee. Enjoy our cabins, restaurant, and old general store. Shop thesmokehouse.com featuring homemade barbecue sauces, jellies, and many other fine Tennessee products. Our live Music on the Mountain series features some of the best local and Nashville talent every Friday and Saturday night, 6:30 p.m. No cover, kids welcome.
Welcome back. The Tennessee Walking Horse National Celebration kicks off next week in Shelbyville. Jim spoke with Mike Inman, Executive Director of the celebration, about the inconsistent and subjective inspection of the horses by federal agents of the USDA.
This has been a pretty good year for the industry, I think, and because some significant things have happened. Certainly, most of you who casually watch this industry might realize that, the industry's kind of been under siege from the USDA for some time now, but there's been some positive things that happened this year. Can you comment on that?
Yeah, we had the USDA had instituted what they called minimum mandatory penalties that we felt, since it took away the right to your day in court, which wasn't part of the Horse Protection Act, it's part of the Constitution.
Right.
It was far overreach of the government, similar to what we see with the EPA and the IRS. And we fought that. It took us nearly 4 years and almost $1 million. But the Fifth Circuit Court of Appeals this past February agreed with us wholeheartedly, not in a split decision, but in a unanimous 3-0 decision, and said, no, you have to follow the Constitution. What you're trying to enforce or make this industry do is illegal, and for the common man to win against the USDA or the government is very rare. So that was significant. But even within that, or in addition to that, and not part of the suit, they had a very, very strong comments towards the USDA, and they were two things. One, it says it's obviously that the inspection system is far more art than it is science. It's extremely subjective and actually a bit perverse. And they said, in addition to it being far more art than science, it says it creates an enormous number of false positives, in where people are deemed violators or are punished and not allowed to show and accused of a violation, when in actuality there's no violation whatsoever. And that's what's leading us to see that we see the court is even realizing, hey, there's something wrong going on. And that's why the industry is so for objective, repeatable, scientific-based testing. Now, we want inspections and we want severe penalties for those that violate.
Matter of fact, you actually provide pretty serious inspections. The industry does, doesn't it?
The industry does, and the USDA. This is the only equine sport where every single animal has to be inspected at every single show, every single time it shows. So it's the most scrutinized one to begin with. But the biggest problem we see, and I hate to say, there are some people with agendas.
Yes.
That will target. We have copies where the USDA has targeted specific animals from hundreds of miles away before showing, say, you will turn down this horse, you will turn down this horse. And we have to get away from that. We have to get a inspection system that's above reproach, and we welcome it. And what's interesting is the industry has been trying for over a year to get it. The pushback is coming from our detractors and from the government that said, no. We'd rather just say, today I don't think that's quite right, rather than say, hey, take the blood. Let's have a tissue sample. Let's find out. And if somebody's wrong, let's have the punishment that fits that. But don't be punishing the people that are doing it right. And that's what we're getting, which that's kind of interesting to see, that we have the technology, and the industry, which is being accused of not doing anything right, is wanting the technology, and we want it, but yet those that are kind of helping us overseas said, no, we don't really want that.
We mentioned a moment ago the horse honors, which is certainly a big star in our industry. Do I recall that horse was that someone, a high official in the USDA, actually phoned a show that they were not at and said, encouraged them not to pass that horse?
Didn't encourage it. And it wasn't a phone. It was a text, I guess.
Okay.
No. It says you will do it, or there'll be heck to pay.
Yeah.
I mean, it wasn't even a veiled threat. It was a direct threat, and it says you will turn this horse down.
Before the horse was ever inspected, right?
Absolutely. Yeah, days before inspected, or if you don't, there will be heck to pay. And hey, there's been heck to pay. We've paid it.
Yeah.
And you sit there. What's really sad about that is, one, it's undeniable. The person still works in the department for the USDA, and you see, if they're so brazen to tell industry inspectors, you will do that, or you're going to pay a penalty if you don't. Imagine what they're telling their employees that are looking for a paycheck.
Yeah.
And imagine what the directive is. I mean, you don't have to imagine. You know what it is. Just pure common sense.
Sure.
And that's really sad. Which again is why we'd like to see objective testing, because again, the welfare of the horse is number one, but so is being fair, and being honest, and being accurate. We want those things, and it's sad. And again, but you say, well, that's just unreal to see. But look at your EPA, look at the IRS.
Yeah.
It's a sad. It unfortunately it detracts and is holding the industry back from growing and being even larger, because of the uncertainty of the inspection area. Is the holdback from growing this industry. It's not economics. Now, a few years ago, when during that issue is, although the economy is still not robust,
right,
there are plenty of people that have the wherewithal that will do it, but it's just the fear of, hey, I got my 7-year-old daughter or granddaughter, and she's dressed up, and then we have an arbitrary thing that just, and it is, and again, we welfare of the horse is number one, and we don't want anybody doing anything wrong. But when it's so subjective, and a horse that shows 5-6 times a year and is fine, and then here at this thing, no, we think he has a Scarborough today, and then 3 weeks later, well, no, his feet look great, and that's what kills people. And they say that's it. And of course, that's part of our detractors and those doing those type of. That's what they want. They want to discourage people from showing and take the fun out of it, and that's a shame. And that's why we continue to try to work hard to get objective testing.
We'll be back in a moment with more Newsleader.
All I have to do to think about what I was physically before and what I am now, and I don't ever want to go back to that original situation.
The overall mission of the rehab team is always what is best for the patient and how we can facilitate maximum potential from every resident.
Well, the most important thing to me is that I'm allowed to do whatever I want to do,
Everyday miracles at Life Care Center of Tullahoma.
We're losing it, doctor.
Not on my shift. Quickly, brush. Roller.
What a transformation. It's gonna be okay.
Okay, nothing.
At Paintworks of Tullahoma, we specialize in domestic emergencies with Martin Senior Paints. You can be the paint doctor too when you treat your home with Martin Senior interior and exterior finishes.
Doctor, we've got another one.
Got you covered.
Paintworks of Tullahoma. Come see the paint doctor, Stat.
Welcome back. Tullahoma's 9 and 10-year-old Little League team won the state championship this year. They were recognized at the Tullahoma Board of Mayor and Aldermen at their meeting on Monday night.
Well, one of the things that we enjoy most as a Board of Mayor and Aldermen is recognizing achievement. And I think before us this evening, these young men and their coaches certainly need to be recognized for their achievement. Let me, I should have already done this, but I believe we have at least a couple of coaches here. Can the coaches step forward for just a second and maybe just give the board a summary of what all you accomplished this year?
First of all, these are the 9 and 10-year-old Tullahoma Little League state and district champions. These boys, we went through district play undefeated, went through state undefeated, went out to the regional, finished up with a record of 1-2 out in the regional out in North Carolina. Boys did very well. Just kind of ran up against some teams, heavy hitters, bigger cities, which was probably the biggest thing. They kind of announced the population at the opening ceremony of each city, and Tullahoma, the population was right around 20,000 or so, and we're playing against teams that 60, 70,000, which is a good accomplishment for these boys, the way they handled themselves in bigger cities, and just showed everybody that, you know, we can achieve things outside of Tullahoma as a small community doing big things. Coach Dave Cooper was a big help. Ryan Dawson was a big help. And not only these two coaches, but the families were amazing. And the city of Tullahoma stood up. This was my 5th time going to a Little League state championship. And each year the city kind of gives us support. We always have to ask for donations because, you know, there's cost, hotels, gas, food. And just to see the city kind of stand up and support the Little League group from year to year is amazing.
We've prepared certificates for each of the young people. Mr. Mathis, you want to get us started and call out those names and present those to the three, and then Ms. Keene, if you'll follow, and then Mr. Duncan and Dr. Blanks. Mr. Norris. Where's
Andrew Dawson. This said, in recognition presented to Andrew Dawson, number 22, Tullahoma Little League Team 9 and 10-year-old division, in recognition of your outstanding accomplishment going undefeated to become the Little League 9 and 10-year-old division team 215 or 2015 District 8 tournament champions and 2015 Tennessee State champions. Jackson Sheffield. And it says exactly the same thing. 24, right? All right, good job. Colton Emery. Number 21. Congratulations.
Evan Tomlin. Congratulations. And May Snipes.
Connor King, number 2. Zane Hall, number 4. Ashton Dodge, number 5. Number 10, Hayden Cooper. Number 12, Charlie Pierce. Number 18, Kay Fanning. Number 27, Liam Braddock. And number 26, Mason Norris.
We'll be right back in a moment.
When your family suffers the loss of a loved one, the caring and compassionate staff at Tullahoma Funeral Home and Coffee County Funeral Chapel are standing by to assist you in every way possible.
We are proud to support local industry and offer only Batesville caskets. Many funeral homes don't own or operate a crematory. We utilize the only crematory in Coffee County. Your loved one never leaves Coffee County. We can accommodate any need and any budget. Consider our complete pre-need service to remove this burden from your family during their time of grief. Lock in today's low costs and protect from inflation. Tullahoma Funeral Home and Coffee County Funeral Chapel. Our family caring for your family.
An annual event started in 1939 will continue when the World Grand Championship celebration will once again be held in Shelbyville, Tennessee at the Celebration Arena. Each year, people come from all over the world to contend for the coveted honor of being crowned World Grand Champion. From the wonderful flat shod to the exciting performance horse, they will fill the ring with the breed's best of the best. The celebration supports local charities, and this year they are asking everyone to come out and support the largest nonprofit event in Middle Tennessee and the charities that depend on this event to fund their cause. Come out and be a part of a family tradition by showing your support for the annual Walking Horse National Celebration. For ticket and box seat information, call 931-684-5915.
Welcome back. Folks at the Vanderbilt University are all a-buzz as they tackle those nasty and highly irritating mosquitoes that can ruin an otherwise a perfect outing. Vanderbilt has received a grant from the Gates Foundation to develop a repellent device. Let's take a look at what may be just around the corner in fighting these pests.
We're going to try and figure out how to add VUAA actives, these wonderful compounds that we've developed, into plastics that we can wear on our wrist and provide a personal no-fly zone that will release this compound gently over time and provide a gentle repellent. We're going to try and build a technology that uses battery power and or solar power or even the power of motion as you're walking to generate essentially enough power to release VUAA volatiles from these personal devices. This is actually VUAA4. This was developed here at Vanderbilt entirely and really many hundreds of thousands of times more powerful than anything we've discovered so far. We take this powder into solution and creating an opportunity for it to enter the air and interact with a mosquito or an insect at distance so that the mosquito comes into contact with VUAA here rather than when it lands on you. Malaria is literally a biblical problem, and it is a problem that has been with humanity forever. It continues to be an enormous burden on global health where despite significant investments, despite massive efforts over the last several decades, up to 1 million people will die every year. A child will die every minute. As we're having this conversation, people are dying of malaria. Typical products that are out today, DEET-based products that are used for repellency like OFF or some of the other sprays, only target a very small number of receptors. They're effective, but they're not terribly effective. They don't last very long. These VUAA compounds, they don't just target 1 or 2 or a small number, they target all of the receptors. This is a story about a product that will overstimulate the sense of smell of insects. And that overstimulation, like what would happen if you got on an elevator with someone who's put on way too much perfume, would take a normally attractive thing and make it repellent. Once we harness the right technology, we'll be working to try different ideas for getting those compounds into plastic. We want to make something that people don't even know they're using, but that will act in the background to do its job day in and day out.
The pet of the week this week at the Tullahoma Animal Shelter is a husky mix named King. King entered the shelter as an owner turn-in and is approximately 2.5 years old. King is a gentle giant and weighs around 80 pounds. King is up to date on his vaccinations, housebroken, and good with children and other dogs. He will receive a free spay provided by the Tullahoma Animal Shelter. Be sure to check out the Tullahoma Shelter on Facebook for upcoming events and fundraisers. Remember, you can help support your local shelter by adopting, donating, or volunteering. For more information, contact Teresa at 454-9580. The Tullahoma Animal Shelter is located at 942 Maplewood Avenue.
Stay with us. Your weather forecast is coming up after these messages.
The Kia Summers on Us sales event is going on right now at Russell Barnett Kia of Tullahoma. Let me tell you about this event. Purchase a new Kia Sedona, Kia Optima, Kia Forte, and receive 0% financing up to 66 months and your first 3 payments for free. For a limited time only, no strings attached. With America's best warranty, the 10-year, 100,000-mile powertrain warranty, Kia is the power to surprise. The Kia Summers on Us sales event going on right now. Why buy anywhere else?
Hi, I'm Cindy.
And I'm Jacob. I'm the Rooster.
And I'm the Red Maiden. And we would like to welcome you to
Roosterwear.
Yes, Roosterwear is a cottage industry producing accessories for men, women, children, babies, and pets. All items are hand cut and sewn locally. Roosterwear specializes in bow ties, pocket squares, scarves, cufflinks, neckties, and aprons of all sizes for all ages. Baby products include onesies, diaper covers, bibs, and burp pads. All bow ties, tie it yourself or pre-tied, come with an adjustable neckband. All products can be made with the material of your choice, as special orders are available upon request. Don't be standing back looking at fashion. Create your own with Roosterwear.
Come visit us at
roosterandredmaiden.com
to find our handcrafted designs for
the cock of the walk.
You made the time and the sacrifice to broaden their horizons, to see their smiles, but mostly to make lifelong memories. We think it's time to do it again, just the two of you. Don't let illness or injury slow you down. The rehab team at Life Care Center of Tullahoma is ready to help you live well.
Welcome back. We'll take a look at your weather forecast at this time, starting with your weather history on this day. Our record high was in 1936 at 97 degrees. The record low was in 1940 at 53 degrees. Average high on this day is 87 and the average low is 65. Tonight, look for partly cloudy weather in your forecast with a low of around 61. Partly cloudy weather again in your forecast on Friday with a high of 81 and a low of 61. Partly cloudy weather also on Saturday with a high of 84 and a low of 65. And that's our Newsleader report for this evening. We invite you to join us each Tuesday, Thursday, and Saturday at 6, 8, and 10 for Newsleader on 6. You have a good evening.
And all of us from Newsleader 6 want to wish Jim Fuller a happy birthday.
Oh, thank you very much, Mia. That's so special. I appreciate that.
You're very welcome.